Okay, and we are live. ¿Qué tal, amigos? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with this evening's live stream, 7:35 p.m. It is here in mainland Spain, 6:35 in the Canary Islands, and it's the 27th of August, which obviously means that the month of August coming to an end soon, unfortunately, for lots of people here in Spain that are currently on holidays or working their way back to their place of origin from their holidays, no doubt, starting to get the kids ready for school, ready to get back to work, all of those things that happen when September hits here in Spain. Now, straight into the news, we will go in just a tick. We'll have a look at some comments that have been left on the channel in recent times also, and we'll also take a look at some chat activity. We'll go into the chat section, check out what is happening there. So if you're in the chat section today watching the live stream, say hello, please. Now, straight into the news. Prime Minister Sanchez on the road again, visiting Africa, the African tour to increase collaboration in response to migration pressure. The Prime Minister, Pedro Sanchez, is returning to work by presiding over the Council of Ministers before embarking on his trip to Mauritania, Gambia and Senegal to address the migration crisis. The most important goal is to strengthen police collaboration to combat the work of human trafficking mafias. The other goal is to create conditions to improve the situation in these countries and curb migration at its source. With the ongoing arrival of small boats to the Canary Islands and Ceuta from these three countries, among others, and with forecasts predicting a challenging autumn in terms of migration, Sanchez aims to symbolize with this trip that the countries of origin and transit for these flows are not alone and can continue to count on Spain to help address the issue. So the second trip by Mr. Sanchez to these African countries. If I'm not mistaken, he was there maybe 3 months ago trying to do exactly the same thing. Went with the President of the European Commission, Ms. von der Leyen, to try and not stop completely, because he probably realizes that that's difficult to do, but at least to restrict or make it harder for people to get to the Canary Islands from those African countries. And of course, it all depends on the police forces in those countries there in Africa, stopping people leaving, when they get in the boat, stop them leaving for Spain. I think that's the idea, but as we've seen in recent times, it doesn't seem to be working, the first plan. So now back there again, maybe offering more money, but also, as we saw there, to give support to the police in those countries where people normally embark from on their journeys to Spain. So we'll see if this trip is more successful, because as we saw yesterday, there's a hot autumn coming up as far as these possible arrivals are concerned. Once the sea starts to calm down, more boats will no doubt try their luck, or more people will no doubt try their luck in boats to hit the Canaries or other parts of Spain. So we'll see if Mr. Sanchez is successful or not. Second piece of news here, and actual defence spending in Spain has increased by more than 20% over the planned amount in the last 2 years. The defence spending projected each year but in the general state budgets falls short. Over the past 2 years, this budget item has required additional funding to meet existing commitments and those added during these periods. The difference between the forecast and the actual spending has exceeded 20% in 2022. The Russian invasion of Ukraine and the commitment of NATO countries to increase military spending to 2% of GDP by 2030 have exacerbated the situation. One of the most recent examples of unplanned defense spending in this budget is the sending of weapons to Kiev, valued at more than 1 billion euros, which will again expand this budgetary item in 2024. So there we go. The Spanish government's overspending by 20% on defense, 20% more than they planned, as we can see here. So obviously these foreign conflicts, the Russia-Ukraine conflict, a source of a lot of extra expenditure, according to this article here from El País, because Spain sending weapons valued at more than 1 billion euros, or pavos, as they call them here in Spanish. 1 billion pavos. And the third piece of news for the golden visa applicants, people that want to get their hands on the golden visa. Time's running out, so you better be quick. And as we can see here, the last train for golden visas, international investors rush to take advantage of the final purchasing opportunity. Since Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez announced in April that he was initiating the process to end golden visas, the system in place in Spain since 2013 that grants residence and work permits to foreigners who purchase property worth at least €500,000 with the option to bring their families. Some international investors and specialized real estate agencies have stepped up their efforts to avoid missing the last opportunity. It is still unclear when this type of visa will be eliminated, a measure that, according to industry experts, will not have a significant impact on prices as it represents a small percentage of transactions. However, many agents are working under the assumption that 2024 could be the last year for this type of business, which has mainly benefited American, Chinese, Mexican and Japanese citizens, according to data from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Specifically, two of these groups, the Chinese and Mexicans, have intensified their property search activities the most over the past 3 months. So there we go, the Chinese and the Mexicans, looking to get their hands on these golden visas, the last opportunity for them to get their hands on one of these visas, the last train ready to leave the station with these golden visas on board. And people that have that type of cash, €500,000 to invest in property or another type of business, I believe. I don't think it's only property. You can invest in another type of business to get your hands on one of those visas. But of course, 500,000 pavos, €500,000, a lot of money for a lot of people, and unfortunately out of the reach of for many people, out of the reach and available for a select few people that have that type of cash coming out of China and Mexico, the majority, as we saw there, that want to get their hands on those visas. Comment section now. Let's go get straight into that. This one here from Marty. Is Fuerteventura affected by this uncontrolled immigration? I've got a holiday booked there for half term in February. Should I be looking to cancel this and change destination? Thanks, Marty, for the comment. My reply would be that no, don't cancel your holiday. In fact, if I had the opportunity to go to Fuerteventura in February, I'd be on the first plane because it's a fantastic destination at that time of the year when the rest of Europe is a bit chilly. You head down to the Canaries and you get a bit of sun on your body. But, I wouldn't let the crisis put you off. I'm sure that there are some parts of the Canary Islands that are suffering the migrant explosion, as they're calling it in some of the papers here. But a lot of people going into specific areas or camps, I believe, around the Canary Islands if they're not getting sent to mainland Spain. So I don't think it's going to affect the tourist industry in the Canary Islands. And as I said, I wouldn't be cancelling. In fact, I'd be looking to extend my holiday in February to the Canary Islands for as long as I could, to escape the cold winter here in Madrid. Probably around till mid-April, maybe May. I would be spending in the Canaries if I had the opportunity, that is for sure. Another one here from Rinky Dinky. Been going to the Canaries for 30 plus years, but no more. Never stayed in a flat or an Airbnb, always in a hotel. They don't want us, so bye-bye. Somebody here that has got sucked in by the British press, the anti-Spain British press, that has given the impression that these anti-tourist movements are only aimed at British people. Well, sorry, my friend, but that is not the case. So wake up, smell the roses, and realise that it's not only British people that are being targeted. It's tourists in general, but it's not that bad. So no need to cancel your holidays. You've been going there for 30 years, so you should understand the Canary Islands a little bit better than you apparently do, because you would realise that people there are generally friendly. Maybe a few radicals don't want you there, but the rest of the population will welcome you with open arms like they always have done. So, sorry to see that you have cancelled your vacation, and I hope you have a good one wherever you go to, because the Canary Islands won't miss you. One here from a user. Even the job of having large families is given to foreigners. Thanks for that, user. Yeah. We mentioned in yesterday's video, or the video before, the the amount of foreign workers in Spain and the jobs that they occupy. I think it was Romanians working mainly in construction, Moroccans working in the fields, South Americans working in elderly care or bars and restaurants. I think that was the breakdown. Chinese also working in different sectors as well, services sector, bars and restaurants that they've opened up, commerce as well, trading, all of those things. And in general, people that come from foreign countries to Spain are still having big families. I can guarantee that. Whereas the locals don't want to have kids anymore, the slack is being picked up by people that are still willing to have big families for whatever the reason. But again, it's almost a lost challenge to get people to have more kids here in Spain. Every year the figure goes down, so not sure if there's a government remedy for that, or whether you or what you can do to convince people to have children nowadays. Economic incentives, got no idea. Maybe some other type of incentive, I have no idea. But the fact of the matter is that Spain needs people to sustain the system, and they're coming from outside, and people that come from outside still like to have big families. So congratulations. Another one here from Michael. Check out the Algeria government and its plans for copying the Spanish tourist industry. Euronews channel has a feature about the plans. Thanks, Michael. I checked the video out. I think it's the one that you're referring to here. It was in French. And I didn't see anything about the Algerian government planning to copy the Spanish tourist industry model. Maybe that's the impression that you got, but I don't think it was mentioned in that video. They did mention that they're going to try and get people from countries like Spain, or people that choose Spain for a holiday destination, to go to Algeria instead. And they're planning to invest a lot of money in the tourism sector in that country. But as I said, maybe I didn't see the same video, or maybe I didn't catch that part, but I don't think it's being based on the Spanish model. It could be, but I didn't see it in that video. And good luck to Algeria if they want to try and take on the southern Mediterranean giants in the tourism industry. Spain, just one, or Greece, or another one of these Mediterranean giants, as I said. Good luck. The first thing you're going to have to do is get more stability, probably, in the country, stability for the tourists, people that want to go on holiday and not have any dramas, and also infrastructure and all of those things that you need to build a buoyant tourism industry. So good luck with that, and I hope all goes well in Algeria, because it does look like a nice destination. Beaches, mountains, desert, but as I just mentioned, you've got to convince people that they're going to be safe in that part of the world. I think that's the key. One here from me, myself, and I. Good insight concerning what others say about Madrid and big cities. How about making a video about this topic? Thanks for the comment, me, myself, and I. A Joan Armour trading song back in the day. Yeah, people from Madrid, because it's such a big city, no other city comes close to the size of Madrid here in Spain. 5 million people, maybe 7 million people if you take in the autonomous community. So a lot of people in the Madrid region, very populated, and it's not the best place in the world to live. So every opportunity that people get, they get out of their little square boxes and they head somewhere else, whether it's the Pueblo, whether it's the coast, anywhere, anytime, any time they can get out of Madrid, that's what they do. And of course, they take their Madrid mentality with them, and it annoys a lot of people around the country. So people in Levante don't like it when the Madrid show rolls into town. This year in Galicia, people are complaining as well that the Madrid crew rock up and they've just basically ignorant to local culture and traditions. And they get given nicknames. I think in Galicia there's a nickname for people from Madrid, which is disparaging. There's also a feeling like that in Andalusia as well, when the people from Madrid roll into town. It is what it is, because, as I said, the biggest population, but not only sometimes it's people from Madrid, but it's people from the central part of the country. So it could also include the Toledo region, other parts of the country as well, Castilla y León. When they flock to the coast, of course, people get put out of place and resentment grows, let's say. And the final comment here from Lee: I live in a pueblo on the Costa del Sol, and there isn't a single electric vehicle charging point. Thanks, Lee, for that. Yeah, not sure what's going on with the towns and the many towns and villages around Spain and their quest to get people into electric cars. Not sure that it's even happening at all, because every time I go to one of these small towns around the country, you see vehicles that are 30 or 40 years old. No one's thinking about an electric vehicle. It's only people in cities that are getting forced to change because of all of these environmental standards that are coming in, and people want to get around those standards, be able to park their cars and drive their cars in cities like Madrid, so they go down the electric vehicle route, or route, as they say in the States and North America. But here where I live, for example, there's no restrictions yet, but there is a plan. The local council has a plan to bring them in, because we're over 100,000 people here, 105 to be exact. So more restrictions are going to come in, meaning that people are going to turn to electric vehicles to be able to use a vehicle to get around. But in smaller towns, it's still not the case. And as the expression goes, some towns are light years away from the bigger cities when it comes to this. Nothing against that, but I don't think there's much incentive for people in small towns and villages in Spain to get an electric car. It's as simple as that. And there's no charging points because no one's driving electric cars, basically. So as I said, it's a city thing at the moment, big city thing at the moment. It will probably creep into smaller cities, you know, the 100,000, 50,000 cities in Spain. But the smaller towns, probably where Lee's living there on the coast, might not get an electric charging point soon or ever, depending on the demand, I imagine, because you're not going to have one just sitting there doing nothing for 9 months of the year while people are still driving around in their diesels or their petrol motor cars. Now into the chat section I'm going to go in just a moment. Before I get there, the like icon is going on the screen. If you haven't hit it yet, please do so. Just below the video you'll find it. Hit that like icon, please. We'll see if we can get up to a decent tally today. Currently sitting at 43, so maybe we can get close to the 100 mark. Don't know. People that have supported the channel in recent times, whether it's the super thanks option here on YouTube, super chat in the live streams, people that have bought me a coffee. Somebody bought me a coffee yesterday. Thank you very much for that. I don't think there was any name associated, so I can't mention the name. And Patreon supporters, longer-term supporters on Patreon, thank you very much for that. And also people that have joined this channel as a member in recent times, ever since I turned the membership option on. Thank you very much for that too. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. Spain Speaks. And you can also follow me on the other social media outlets there as well, Instagram, X, Facebook. Although I'm not very regular on the last two there, Twitter or X and Facebook. More of an Instagram user at the moment, so you can get in touch with me there as well. And backdrop change time, before I forget, which I did the other day. This one was sent in by Marianne. And it's a place called Arcade. Arcade would be the English translation. And it's in Galicia, I think in the Pontevedra province. And Mary apparently was doing the Camino de Santiago, the Portuguese way. And this town was on the route. And a lovely photo here of a bridge that takes us back probably a few centuries, if not longer. The bridge there in Galicia. Thank you very much, Marianne, for sending that one through. If anybody's got a similar picture that they would like to see on the backdrop, the email address is this one here, spainspeaks@gmail.com. You can also send me any information that you want about Spain, whether it's an article, whether it's some other type of news about Spain, changes to the system, whatever you can find about Spain. You want to bring it to not only my attention, but also the community's attention. spainspeaks@gmail.com is the email address. So feel free to send them through, as do many spammers. I'm noticing getting a lot of spam in recent times, especially coming out of India. A lot of people wanting to do website things and SEO and all of those things. So lots of spam coming through. First comment that I can see here today from Pamela. Pamela just with a simple hello. Hello, Pamela. Good to see you. I'll just get the email address off the screen there. Good to see you, Pamela, in the chat. A regular viewer is Pamela. Thank you very much. Andrew is another regular visitor or viewer coming in from a nice sunny day in London Southeast. Hope you're having a good start to the week. Thanks, Andrew, for that. I am. Hope you are too. Erica is the next person that I can see in the chat, although I know in the real-time chat, Susanna from the same place, Teresa came in first, wanted to be Erica, so we'll put Susanna on the screen there first. But Erica's higher up in the order here that I can see. You did get me, Susanna, 1968, but hi from a muggy Teresa, enjoying a glass of Arien or Airen, and some mussels and 2 kitties wanting cockles. Wish everyone a happy week and hope all the best, is that? I think. Thanks for that, Erica. Sani's also here, catching up tomorrow because has an early flight with grandson to Valencia. So Sani's heading back to Spain ASAP, or tomorrow to be exact. TOL, valued member, hello, or hola, Stu, and fellow fans. Sunny, 24 degrees. Always beautiful San Diego, California. Thanks, Al, for that. Richard, also a valued member, coming in. Hoping everyone is well from North Yorkshire. It's starting to feel like the back end here. Nights are drawing in and cooler temperatures. Yeah, I've noticed that here in Madrid, although the temperatures are not all that much cooler. In the mornings, I've noticed a bit of a cooler morning, which is relief because around 11 or 12 it starts to heat up again. Janet coming in from Oxford, valued member 2. James and Kathy coming in from a grey and overcast Worcester, but not cold, having a nice drop of French red Cabernet, is that? From Pays de Oc. Forgive my French pronunciation there, I've got no idea. But looks nice, the French wine. Super sticker from James and Kathy, £4.99. Thank you very much. A lemon character apparently holding his hand in front of his mouth, grinning. Thanks for that. I can't see the characters here, but they give me a description. Barbara coming in from the Playa Flamenca, 30 degrees Celsius today. Seems to be the average temperature there. Around 30 degrees. Exploring with Jen coming in from Valencia. Sent me an article today, did Jen, about another unfortunate drowning, I think, in the Mediterranean. I'll have a look at that one for tomorrow. Dr. Andres Pedro Sanchez would do better for Spain staying in Africa. Yeah, some people would think that, Andres. I'm sure that the opposition parties would love Mr. Sanchez stayed in Africa, never came back. But, his supporters and his parliamentary support group need him back, because without Pedro Sanchez, that party would have been done and dusted long ago. Let's be honest about that. Mr. Sanchez is what's called a survivor in politics. What else we got here, considering the fact, I'll just go off on a tangent here, considering the fact that he was kicked out of his own party around 10 years ago, but look where he is now. Came back stronger than ever. No one can get rid of him. The wine that Erica's drinking is from La Mancha Valdepeñas. Should be easier to find than here in Catalonia. Very fruity white wine. Thanks for that. Greetings from Gigi, who's coming in from Surprise, Arizona. Temperatures today should get up to 44 degrees. Another pool day for sure. Just be careful in the sun, Gigi. You wouldn't want to get too burnt with that temperature out in the pool. But you need a pool definitely. What else? Let's have a look. Renan coming in from Los Angeles, California. Good to see you, Renan. Another regular viewer. I was going to say user or viewser. Or maybe I can bring that word together, viewser. James saying in the UK, electric car second-hand prices have bombed. Yeah, a few people in the comment section did mention that the second-hand market is one of the big hurdles that this industry has to overcome. There's not a strong second-hand market for whatever reason. Maybe people don't, think that they can get any value from a second-hand electric car. I've got no idea. But a lot of people did have a similar comment in the comment section, James. Thanks for that. I want to hear from Kevin Lad. Is there much border infrastructure going up on the border with Gibraltar? What do you mean, Kevin Head? What do you mean? Is the fence getting higher, or is the fence... what do you mean exactly? Let us know with infrastructure. Border controls, things like that. Got no idea. Liz, Fuente Heridos, a little pueblo in Huelva, has 2 electric charging points in the car park. Liz, there we go. 2 electric charging points in the car park. I'm sure that small towns around Spain maybe have 1 electric charging point, maybe 2, depending. I mean, if you're driving through the town, if it's on a major route, you'd want to have at least a couple for people coming through that needed to charge their cars. But, sometimes they can be difficult to find, I imagine, as is parking in some of these small towns around the country as well, especially when the fiestas are on. Went to a town recently, the town fiestas, it's nowhere to park. Nowhere to park at all. NVN saying cheers. Thanks for that, NVN. Good to see you. Marcus, CH. Not sure what that's meaning there, Marcus, but I'm sure it's... here we go. Cheers from Campo Amor. Time for an early supper. Rabo de toro with a glass of red. There we go. Marcus into the Spanish meals. Rabo de toro. Oxtail, is that how we would translate that, Marcus? Oxtail or bull's tail? Not sure. Enjoy. John coming in from with Maria from El Campello. That's still crowded with all of your friends from Madrid. Yeah, it'll be crowded until at least the 31st, guys. El Campello. As I mentioned in a couple of weeks ago, I've met 3 or 4 people over the years that have second houses in El Campello. A lot of them retired early here in Madrid and spend a lot more time down there nowadays. But back in the day, it was their popular holiday destination there in Alicante. That's the fact of the matter is that this time of the year, until the 31st, it's going to be busy there with all of the madrileños. Let's see what else. What else we got going on here? Let's have a look. What else? Let's have a look. Monica coming in from a beautiful Poland. Kind greetings. Good to see you, Monica. Don't think I've seen you in the chat before. If you have been here, please excuse me. What else we got going on here? Let's have a look. Kevin Ladd saying that I heard something about new border rules being introduced this year, I think. Well, it all depends on the agreement between Spain and the United Kingdom, I believe, Kevin Ladd. The negotiations are apparently breaking down, and both sides of the border are getting ready for stricter controls, basically. I think that's what I read the other day. I think we might have even seen it on the channel. But Gibraltar and Spain getting ready for stricter controls, which means that there'll just be more police, I imagine, on both sides, and it'll be harder for people to get across the border. I imagine that's what the situation will be. But as I said, no agreement. The agreement hasn't been finalized, but they're not optimistic from what I can gather. What else have we got going on here? Charlie the Chaste. I never want to go to a fiesta because I have no idea how to get back after. Don't know whether that's a joke, but if it is, I didn't get it. What else? And Mr. Beautiful Blues, do you think YouTubers showing local spots has ruined the authenticity, as I've heard what happened to Alicante this year? Don't think it's got anything to do with YouTubers. YouTubers now are the minority of people putting out content. TikTokers probably would be the people. I don't know whether the word would be ruining the authenticity, but TikTokers and Instagrammers and all of these types of people putting out content. So many people putting out content nowadays. Everybody is a YouTuber nowadays. Everybody is an Instagrammer. Everybody wants to get followers. Everybody wants to take that perfect picture. Everybody wants to have all of these fantastic locations in their feed. And are they ruining the authenticity? I've got no idea. Don't know what happened precisely in Alicante that you're referring to there, Mr. Beautiful Blues, but yeah, people are going to, as somebody pointed out the other day, people have been taking photos of their holidays for years. There's nothing new, but now, of course, you can publish them and everybody sees them, and it has a carry-on effect, obviously, because people think about going to places that maybe they hadn't thought of before. Here we go. Charlie's back again. I mean, there's usually no buses, nowhere to park, and no one wanting to drive taxi during big festivals. Yeah, I can understand that, Charlie. In the town fiestas, the taxi drivers are probably enjoying the celebrations as well. Buses probably stop running at a certain time, so if you're a bit of a night owl, it's difficult to get back. You do what the Spanish people do, wait for the service to start up again in the morning at 6:30 or 7. That's what they do here anyway, where I live. They wait for the metro system to start up. You'll see literally thousands of people waiting for the metro doors to open in the morning, or the bus stop at the bus stop. And yeah, I understand that it can be difficult to get to and from unless you have your own transport. But then again, if you're partying, Charlie, you might not want to drive because the old civil guard can be strict around the old town fiestas, where they try to pick everybody up for breaking the law when it comes to drinking and driving and other substance abuse at these local fiestas. Now, that's the end of the live stream. I'm going to wrap it up. It's been a pleasure as always. We didn't quite get to the 100 mark. In fact, we fell quite a bit short, 77. Nothing much I can do about that. It's been a pleasure as always. More regular content coming tomorrow. Hope to see you at the next live stream, which will be on Thursday. Hasta luego. Hasta entonces. Adios. Bye-bye.